Guys, the prompt is the next thing. If you're not on, get on, okay?
Welcome back to the Prompt Zambia. Today I'm here with a special guest. Today I'm here with Adele and Belia. You may know them for their YouTube channel Yellow, or their company. You know, how are you ladies doing today?
No, we're fabulous. We're fabulous. Thanks for having us.
Great. We're good.
All right. So to start off, how did you ladies meet?
Yeah. There's a YouTube video on that. You can go check it out
Okay,
on our channel. Belia, do you want to explain?
Okay, well, we met.
Belia, explain.
Yeah. Okay, let me explain. So we met at a shoot. I was having a shoot for a client in 2019. Before I knew Adele, I was doing like social media management for small businesses. And one of the businesses I had was a clothing company. So she was a model for that shoot on the day. Mm-hmm. And on the day, you know, she was doing her thing, vibing. If you know Adele, she's like a model. If you go to her page, she's got all these fabulous pictures. So she was doing her thing as she always does. And then I was like, oh my gosh, she's a vibe. And then she was like to me, oh my gosh, you're a vibe. And I was like, oh my gosh, let's be best friends. Let's go for a picnic. And we actually did it. We did what we said we would do. So we did the most. We went for like, we didn't do a picnic first. I think we went on a trip first. We went to Livingston with one of our friends, Jane. And then on that trip, that's when we like just became like cool. We were like, okay, we're doing this thing. We're going on this journey together. We're going to do this ride or die forever to the end.
History.
And now we're here.
I love the energy, you know. So before we get back to you guys being as like together now, I'll separate you for a bit, right? So I'll start off with Adele. What made you become an entrepreneur?
I think it's one of those things where, like, you know, people like to say that thing where they're like, I don't like people telling me what to do. But for me, it's not really about that. Sometimes it's the fact that I have so many ideas, and when I'm stuck like in a place of work where somebody else is just like their vision is being pursued because you're working for them. So their vision is coming alive. They're sending you to do this and that or whatever it is. And then my ideas are just sitting and not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. So like for me, it was more about that. I've got a million ideas. Even now, like if there were like 10 Adeles, this world would be Adele dominated. Yeah. But it's like one of those things where I have so many ideas and I'm just like, I want to pursue it. I want to try it. Oh, this thing, let me do this thing. It fails. Let me do that thing. It fails. So it's more about that. Like there's just so much I feel like I have to give. Mm-hmm. And for that reason, I'd just rather get up and do it myself.
Okay, right. So you seem like a multitasker, you know, because a lot of people these days are always like, I want to do one thing, and you know, you're proof that you can do so many things. And that's very inspiring. And how about you, Belia?
I was never gonna make a great employee. I was going to just be fighting with all my bosses. Like it was never going to be a peaceful environment. You can't tell me what to do and it goes well. Like it doesn't make any sense for me personally. I think I knew myself from a very young age, and I knew like, okay, the only way for me to be happy is if I dictate my life and I put things in place for myself that make sense. So from a very young age, I already knew who I was and I knew what I wanted, and I wanted to create a legacy that I could pass on to my kids as well. Something they could come on to and be like, yo, mom has done this, or mom has started this, now we can jump on board. A lot of the times it's always just the dads or the men building legacies. Nah, Sam, me, it's I here.
Yeah, women can do it too.
Yeah, no, I want, that was really the goal, is to build something my kids can be proud of as well. Like, it's not all just about me at the end of the day. So, yeah.
Okay, so in your perspective, right, maybe people be now thinking that, okay, you know, maybe she looks down on people with a full-time job and stuff like that. So how do you say, what is the difference in your perspective between self-employed and being employed for someone else? What are the advantages and pros in your perspective?
Self-employed and being employed for someone else.
Yes.
The key is Adele and I knew we knew ourselves, like this is how we are. That was the key. So you need to know yourself. Are you going to be disciplined enough to be self-employed? It's not even about being self-employed. It's about being disciplined enough to still execute a task when you don't have that responsibility of someone looking over you. You need to know yourself. If you don't know yourself, don't copy that. Oh yeah, Belly and Adele are entrepreneurs. Also me, I can do it because they've been doing it. Don't do that. You will fail. You will fail. Yes.
Like we actually did a video on this on our YouTube channel as well, like self-employment versus, you know, being, yeah, like obviously working for someone else. And these are some of the things that we kind of spoke about, because at the end of the day, each individual has their own path. So there's somebody who is working in banking who will sit here and tell you why they work in banking and their long-term plan or whatever. And that's completely fine as well. So don't look at anybody's journey and be like, oh no, also me, they said this, so I can do it. Because you will cry. It's not easy. Even being self-employed is not easy. Being employed is not easy. But if you're on your path and that is your what you call it, your purpose, that's your purpose. Yeah.
That's right.
So don't copy nobody, just do your own thing.
Do it. Another thing is a lot of the times we find ourselves sitting and comparing ourselves without even knowing it. Like you are unconsciously comparing yourself because you've got this need to show that also you can be great. People's greatness are at different levels. Someone's greatness can be at level 58, but you have just started at level 2. And then you're comparing someone's level 58 of greatness to your level 2. Breathe. Relax, calm down. Like and figure out what works for me as Esther from Chilawombwe, what works for me as, you know, Chisanga from Kitwe. It's all about knowing what works for you as an individual, and then what you decide to do won't end up being something that you hate at the end of the day. Me personally, even if I wasn't doing Yellow Red Digital, I was doing some other thing that was entrepreneurship, I would be thriving because I just like entrepreneurship. It's just where I'm at. Anything that Adele was selling, what were you selling before you started doing this thing as a boo? You were selling head wraps. You were doing the
head wrap, men's clothes.
Girl, men's clothes.
It's in the blood.
She been out here, So it's just about knowing yourself,
So as for you, Adele, you know, so you also do full time. I think the last time I checked, or maybe that changed. So how was that process for you? Like, you know, working for somebody and also finding time to do your other things.
Okay, yeah. So before, when I was employed, it was the 2 times that I was like in full-time employment before this was when I was in university. So I had come back to do a year, what they call a year in industry. So I was in full-time employment then. And this is how I started noticing the parts, like the little, not the things, the little signs. Because when I came back, I was away from Zambia, I think at that point for like a good 2 years, 2.5 years. I came back into full-time employment and I was still busy with so many things. Like I hope my former bosses won't watch this, but like, you know, lunch break, I've gone, I'm doing a shoot, I'm doing something. If they're not around, I do my work quickly in the morning, I'm doing something else in the afternoon, whatever. Then when I came back, I was working for my parents, and then they already knew like I was a busybody. So I was constantly like, oh, can I have Saturday morning off? Can I have, you know, the afternoon off and whatever it is? So they were like, okay, it's okay. Because obviously you're trying to find something that's actually going to get you on your feet and you're going to do so. I mean, it's fun for me because at the end of the day, it's something that I look forward to, because I find, you know, 9 to 5 work sitting in an office, I personally find it very draining. So the thing that gets me going is knowing that as I'm working here, I have, you know, like an application open here. I'm making phone calls for this business. I'm preparing for this on the weekend. That's what kept me going in that workplace. So for me, I mean, I feel like I've just always been self-employed or whatever. Like, I think it was always just meant to be like this. So the transition is crazy because you're going from like a very strict, like you have to be here at this time, to yeah, I can't say it's better. I can't say I can wake up at 11 because by that time I'll probably have 20 missed calls from Belia.
20 missed
But,
calls, yeah.
you know, it's that flexibility. And it's
Yeah.
also that kind of thing where, you know, if something is going wrong in our lives or we're not okay, you can easily just say, you take the day off, it's okay. Like if in formal employment, most of the time, nobody's really going to understand that. But yeah, the transition was awesome for me because I feel like this is where I was always supposed to be.
Yeah. And the disclaimer to everyone watching, we're not advertising that starts keeping your job. If you get fired, it's on your own. It's on your own. We're not involved. We're just saying, and you know, see how you get along with your boss, you know. Yeah. So with that said, how do you guys complement each other? You know, so first we'll start with Belia, then we'll go to you, Adele.
So what do you mean? Like what qualities in me complement Adele?
No, what qualities in her complement you? So you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Where I fall short. Where does she come and do the things? Okay.
Basically.
Yes, great. So Adele is the most detail-oriented person I know outside of my mom. Like her and my mom are in the same WhatsApp group of looking at things and being like, She's so detail-oriented. So it makes everything I do extra beautiful. Like if I've done something, I know I can give it to her and she'll see something I haven't seen, right? And then she's got a way of looking at things and just dissecting them in a creative way that I can't do. Like her creativity is beyond the roof. Like she sees things and like she sees them in colors and rainbows and the story and emotions and all of these things. And I'm like, oh my God, yes. And then I take it and then I map it out step by step. Like, okay, let's start here and then we can go here. And then we can go here. Literally. So she sees like all of this and then I'm like, okay, here's step one. So she compliments my weaknesses in where I can't see everything beautifully, but I can see the steps and all of that good stuff. And then also like she's got this ability of just being super understanding and just loving. Yo, guys, how much time do you have? Like I can go for guys.
So sweet, guys.
Oh, because I'm removing all the words and I'm like, wait, I need to know how much time I got, because if I got all the time in the world, it's like working with someone who you've always supposed to work, because she sees you as a human. You're a human being. You're not someone who's just supposed to be making money, or you're not someone who's just supposed to be building, or you're not someone who's just a robot. Because a lot of the times people find themselves in partnerships with someone who's so detached from their humanity, or someone who's so detached from their ability to build. So she sees both. Like, you're a visionary, yes, you're a boss, but also you're a human, so sleep.
Yeah. Okay, for me, I think like the way we complement each other or whatever it is. Okay, first of all, like we are on the same page when it comes to a lot of things. When it comes, and I remember when my grandma said this to me, that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, for real. Because she was like,
for real.
Your head are in the same place, you're on the same path, and you are both running. So that helps a lot, because at the end of the day, you need to be, you know, with somebody or have a partner who sees the same long-term goal as you, so that even if things are thick and not very cute right now, you're still running in the same direction. If somebody slows down, you know, to be like, girl, I'm waiting for you, let's go. But in terms of how we complement each other is, Belia doesn't sleep, she doesn't rest, she's just go. Like, and that is something that, you know, when the days are dark, that's something that you really need, because she will literally have a mental breakdown in the morning, in the afternoon, she's running errands, she's having meetings, she's speaking to clients, things are still getting done. Sis is half dead, but things are still getting done. So it's something that's super, super important. And also, I think even just that thing of understanding as well, I would say it on my side, because we have both, I think we should even do a YouTube video on this, but we've both had times in this period, this 2 years that we've been running this business together, we've both had times when, like, one or the other is just completely in a shambolic place, not even able to answer their phone, not able to do anything, not able to breathe or whatever it is, but there's somebody else that's there holding your hand to be like, no, it's fine, you sleep, let's go. So I think that's support for me. And then and then even just that thing of being a reminder, like she's constantly reminding me of, girl, we're here, but this is where we need to be going. Like, at the end of the day, this is not just we're not trying to be on a small level. We're not just trying to charge people $50. We're trying to charge people $1,000. So what can we do to level up? Somebody that's constantly reminding you of that. It's important.
It's important.
It's so important. Because you never sleep on yourself. We will never sleep on ourselves, because one or the other person is going to be like, hello, can you please wake up now?
Yeah, it's time to wake up, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in your partnerships, do you have like contracts, or you trust each other so much that, I heard what you said and stuff like that, because sometimes there are a lot of people that get into business together and, they can be good when talking, but when it comes to action and agreement, it's something else, like, bro, so how's it with you guys?
Guys, this partnership started with a contract. It didn't start with words. There was an actual document that we both still have, that piece of paper. We actually signed. We were like, okay, this is the partnership document. From there, we started putting in the work. So we have an actual contract. It's just that I think Adele and I were very lucky or very blessed, or we prayed really hard for each other. We really that's not what determines the way we work. Our contract is not that. Our work is based on the fact that we have a bigger vision that is very, very similar. So we know we can't fumble each other's visions. Like, I carry Adele's vision as much as she carries my vision. So it's not like your vision is your vision and my vision is my vision and that's it. No, even when something new comes up, yes, even when something new comes up, I'm always like, yo, bro, I'm trying to do this new thing. This is what has come up. She'll be like, okay, cool, let me look at it. This is your new vision, dope. But we communicate. Even though there was a document, we communicate. She tells me, Adele, this is Belia, this is where I'm at. Adele, this is where I'm at. But people don't do that. Partnerships are supposed to have communication. If you don't communicate, you won't know what's going on with the other person, and then you'll be assuming half of the time in the relationship or the partnership. Yeah.
I think
and loyalty. Sorry, you may continue.
Yeah, I'll just say one more thing. Like, I think it's because for a lot of people, probably you heard Belia say that and you're like, yeah, every partnership should start with a contract, which, yes, everything you do have a contract. If you're modeling for someone, please have a contract. People are crazy. Okay?
People are crazy.
Yeah, people are crazy. But at the end of the day, like, if you are thinking of partnering with someone, with a friend or whatever it is, at the end of the day, you need to be able to, first of all, always look at where you're going. And then you need to also foresee circumstances that may come up. So if I see myself partnering with, I don't know, Jim, in every circumstance, am I going to be able to be a partner? Because I feel like when you run a business with someone, I feel like it's like you're married to them, honestly. Because, yes, apart from you saying, oh, where are the financials? Or did the receipts go out? Did we call this client? It's like you're married to that person.
100%.
Because their business becomes your business. It's different if you're just putting money in something to be like, oh, I'm going to invest in this, whatever it is. But everything that's their business becomes your business. So empathy is super, super important. We are here because of empathy. You have to be empathetic. Like, at the end of the day, it's a crazy life. It's a roller coaster. But if you're going to always just have a paper to be like, but the paper says,
it don't work.
It's a ticking time bomb. It's a ticking time bomb.
It is a ticking time bomb.
So basically, also understanding of each other is very critical.
Yeah.
So, with that said, what started first? Was it your YouTube channel or the agency?
Agency.
Okay, so what made you guys start the agency? Exactly. Like, what do you think was lacking in the community?
That's a good question.
Yeah. I think our desire to just see more creative and unique things on the internet. Adele and I both look at social media as a platform for expression and a platform for people to connect on a global scale, right? So I personally felt like Zambia wasn't tapping into all of the resources that social media had to offer. Social media is not just Zambia and our own little community, it's the whole world. There are over 50 million people on social media. So I just felt like there was that gap of people just not knowing what to do with the potential and this chima gift that we've been given, which was social media. So yeah, that was my reason. And that's why Yellow Race started.
Okay.
And that's why it's still gonna go. And even if I'm not there, it will still be there personally.
You're
100%. 100%.
Like, I think it's one of those things, like, just as you've said, like it's identifying a gap in the market.
Yeah.
And like for us, I think it's one of those things where it's in front of everybody. Everybody can see, like, social media is something that you use every day or whatever it is. But nobody wants to just get up and do the work, just understand how platforms work or whatever it is. And also just like it's just hard to find information about businesses in Zambia.
Yeah.
If you want to order cupcakes from a certain store or whatever it is, there are no pictures online, there's no website or whatever it is, but
the basics.
The basics.
Yeah.
You should be able to go online, find pictures, find reviews, even if that person doesn't have a website. So I feel like for me, it was just something that I got tired of doing for free, because all of my friends have these dope businesses, and I'm like, go, let me take your pictures, let me do this, So I got tired of doing it for free. I was like, nah, bruh, no.
Getting the
some coins, yeah.
Okay. So what are some of the challenges you are faced when creating the agency? I'm sure not everyone was with open hands and saying, yeah, we're gonna trust or put money here. So what were some of the challenges that you faced?
I think Belia is looking somewhere else. Like, I think I don't think these challenges were even internal, but when there's a new business, I don't know if it's just here or it's all over the world, but people think they can underestimate you. So we were underestimated on all levels.
Every level.
All levels, because people come and they think they can give you 100 kwacha to do something. But again, because we were on the same page, we both agreed to be like, this is what we're charging, and this is what we have to offer. So I think that thing of clients not understanding the value that you're going to give them, that back and forth to be like, why is it this much? Why do I have to do this? Just that, the ignorance, not in a bad way, but the ignorance that comes about when you're running a business like this, because it's new, it's fresh, people don't really understand it. So now it's just, questioning you all the time. What is this? And they think you're trying to crook them left, right, and center, but I think that's been one of like the most annoying challenges, to be honest.
That's the biggest one, and that's the only one. People not knowing.
Even now.
Yeah.
Somebody who's seen, like, they will still ask you funny questions to be like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to say?
And they're the ones who come to you.
So how do
they come wanting our services, they will still be like, but what do you do? After you have paid me, but what do you do? You know what?
Yeah, I think curiosity and patience. What can you do? So how do you battle it? Like, how do you manage
patience?
Them?
We have a lot of patience. So we have a lot.
Too much patience.
If I am not patient, Adele is patient. So because God is so gracious, He has really deposited different amounts of patience in each one of us individually. There's certain people she has patience for. I just don't look at them. I don't even talk to them. And then there's others I have patience for. She doesn't even want to know what they're eating that day, what's their name, who they are. But she's getting paid from their account. I'm getting paid from their account. Everybody's happy. You see? So it's a balanced kind of relationship. And we're also transitioning into the space where our clients will have less access to us as individuals. That way we won't have to really do back and forth. And we're really trying to strengthen our team to understand how to do client management. So there's a lot of things that we won't have to deal with. And there's a lot of things that we've seen that are loopholes and areas of weaknesses in our own agency. That way we can fix them, grow, and move from there.
Mm-hmm. So, so now let's talk about how important has research played. You know, because for you to know all that knowledge, you have to do some research of some sort. So how has that played?
Okay, so I think in terms of research, like I'm sure you mean like research in terms of understanding the market or whatever it is. For us, this business, like nobody went to school for this. Nobody went to school to learn or understand, but we're just very intentional about growing, learning, and just being attentive to what's going on. So when we started with a very simple business model. This is the service we're providing, whatever. Then over time, when you have a falling out with a client, when you have the client complain about something, when we get frustrated with something, we're constantly building our business model, adding new things to it or whatever it is. So that research it's like market research. It's like we're constantly doing it by learning, understanding, and then because we're so plugged in when it comes to social media, you see what other people are doing, you see what other agencies are doing. We follow a bunch of other agencies. We see what people are doing in terms of visibility, in terms of campaigns, all of that stuff. So it's just that every day are just learning. When we see something, we share it with each other, and we're like, oh, look at this would be cool. So slowly, it's like building blocks. That's how I look at Yellow Ray. It's building blocks, or constantly adding to it. And in the next, 3 years, it's going to look completely different, because this is not how it looked 2 years ago.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then for you, Belia, how do you look at it?
Well, I think for me, it's actually the same as Adele. It's just a matter of building from where we are. It's not a matter of trying to reinvent the wheel. It's just a matter of looking at what we already have and building from there. And we are our best teachers. I saw a post yesterday on one of the things we follow that says that, what would your failures teach you if they all had to come together and give you a workshop? And we learn from our failures, and we are not shy. We don't shy away from them. We don't blame anyone for them. We look at them and we're like, okay, we failed here, here, here. Now let's fix it. Let's do it better, and let's grow. And this is why we are going to stand forever. We're going to be here for a very long time, because we don't shy away from looking at things and being like, okay, how can we adapt and grow? How can we pivot? How can we improve? What do we need to change and fix?
Yeah.
And then go from there.
And the sad thing is, people look at failure as losses instead of lessons to be learned.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.